stop. Let's talk about the prison you can't see. No, not the one from the movies, not the one you discuss in forums online. Let's talk about the one you wake up in every single morning. The one whose bars are forged from routine, whose walls are built with silent consensus, whose guards are the expectations you've internalized. It's the life you live every day, yet somehow it doesn't feel like yours. A role you play, a script you never chose. Your mind was programmed to accept limits you don't even question.
You feel it, don't you? A quiet hum of discontent beneath the surface of your life. A sense that you are performing a role in a play you never auditioned for. So you started searching. You woke up. You saw the strings. You identified the puppeteers. You named the system. And in that moment of discovery, you felt a surge of power, a sense of superiority. You saw the Matrix. But here's the truth they never tell you about the awakening. Seeing the cage is not the same as escaping it. In fact, for many, the awakening becomes the most sophisticated part of the prison. The ego loves to be awake. It wears its knowledge like a badge of honor. It trades the prison of conformity for the prison of cynicism. It swaps the numbness of the herd for the lonely pride of the outsider. But the anger, the blame, the endless analysis of who is at fault, it is all just a different frequency broadcast by the same control tower. It keeps you locked in reaction. It keeps you focused on the cage. The only power is the power of your own mind. Emmet Fox. The system doesn't mind if you see the bars, as long as you never truly try to walk through them. The ultimate deception is to make you believe that knowing the problem is the same as solving it. It is not. The real journey begins when the analysis ends, when the blame dissolves, when you turn your gaze away from the prison walls and turn it inward to the fire they tried so hard to extinguish.
Imagine a world meticulously designed to keep you in your place. A world where your potential is not a horizon to be explored, but a number calculated at birth. This isn't science fiction. It is a metaphor for the world you already inhabit. It's called Gattaca. In this cinematic dystopia, society is stratified by genetic purity. Your DNA is your resume. Your blood is your destiny. There are the valids, engineered for perfection, and the invalids, born of chance, condemned to a life of menial labor and quiet desperation. The protagonist, Vincent, is an invalid, a godchild. From his first breath, the system whispers its verdict: invalid. Destined for failure. Born for the floor, not the stars. The system is brutally efficient, not through violence, but through suggestion. It doesn't need to chain him down. It only needs to convince him that he was born for the floor, not for the stars. It doesn't scream, "You can't." It whispers, "It's not for people like you." And this whisper, repeated relentlessly, becomes an internal chorus.
They repeat the lie until you start telling it to yourself.
This is not Vincent's story. It is your story. This system didn't need a blood test to limit you. It used the labels you carry. Too old, too young, not educated enough, not connected enough. The whispers that told you to stay small. The system isn't one entity, it's the media you consume, the schools that ranked you, the culture that told you what success looks like. Perhaps your genetic profile wasn't a blood test, but the zip code you were born in, the accent you carried, the expectations of your family, the subtle or not so subtle messages about your gender, your race, your class. The system looked at you and handed you a script. This is who you are. This is what you can expect. Don't aim too high. Stay in your lane. And the most insidious part, most people obey. They accept the diagnosis. They live out the prophecy. They become loyal curators of their own limitations because fighting seems not only futile, but insane. The system's greatest victory is not when it defeats you. It's when it convinces you not even to try.
Vincent refuses the diagnosis. He cheats. He lies. He borrows an identity. He endures excruciating pain daily to conceal his inferior self and pose as a valid, all for one singular, impossible dream: to go to space. But the scene that defines his liberation, the moment that reveals the master key, has nothing to do with rockets or DNA scanners. It's just him, his genetically superior brother, Anton, and the unforgiving sea. They are swimming. A reckless, primal challenge. They swim out, further and further into the dark, churning water. The shore disappears. Anton, the perfect one, begins to falter. He panics. "Vincent, where's the shore? We're too far out." But Vincent keeps swimming. Terrified, Anton turns back. Later, he confronts Vincent. "How did you do it, Vincent? How did you do any of this?" And Vincent reveals the secret. He speaks the password for freedom. He says, "You want to know how I did it? This is how I did it, Anton. I never saved anything for the swim back."
Pause now. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture one dream you've held back, one star you've been afraid to swim toward. Say to yourself just once, "I will give everything to this." Feel the weight of that choice. Let that sink into the marrow of your bones. I never saved anything for the swim back. He did not have a plan B. He did not keep a small reserve of energy just in case. He burned the bots. He committed fully, totally to the forward vector of his will, even if it meant drowning. This is what the system cannot comprehend. It operates on logic, on self-preservation. It cannot compute the power of a human soul that has decided to risk everything for a single incandescent purpose. True faith acts without a safety net.
Emmet Fox.
Emmet Fox taught that faith is not belief in an outcome. It is the courage to act in the face of all doubt, to choose your truth over the system's lies. Most people live their lives constantly saving for the swim back. They don't fully commit to the new business because they need the security of the old job. They don't fully love because they fear the pain of a broken heart. They don't speak their full truth because they're afraid of the consequences. They live in a state of perpetual self-negotiation, and they call it being realistic. The system calls it being controlled. Freedom is not a calculation. It is a declaration of total commitment. The victory
is not in reaching the other shore. The victory is in the swimming itself. Where did this fire in Vincent come from? It wasn't a gift. It was forged. It was forged in the furnace of rejection. Every rejection, every doubt, every voice that said, "You can't," these were not obstacles. They were fuel. The world told him he was nothing, and in doing so, it gave him the greatest gift. It stripped him of everything but his own inner will. When you have nothing left to lose, you become truly free. The injustice you have faced, the pain you have carried, the no's that have echoed in your life, they are not your curse. They are your credentials. They are the source of your unique, unreplicable fire. Your pain is what makes you dangerous to the system. The system wants you comfortable. It wants you slightly numb, slightly distracted. It fears your hunger. Because a hungry soul will chew through steel bars to get what it needs. The world told him he couldn't, so he had to find a power that was not of the world. He had to look inward. It is the law of your own mind that will set you free. He couldn't change his genes, so he had to change his mind. He had to believe in his own possibility more than he believed in the system statistics. He had to dwell upon the image of himself in that rocket ship, not as a dream, but as a memory of the future. The resistance he faced was not a barrier. It was a whetstone. It sharpened his resolve. The more the world pushed him down, the more spiritual muscle he was forced to build. Do not resent your hardships. Do not curse your rejections. They are your training ground. They are the fire that can turn the soft iron of your desire into the tempered steel of your will. Use it. Take a moment today. Write down one rejection you have faced, a no that stung. Then ask, what did this teach me about my strength? How can I use it to fuel my next step? This is how you turn pain into power.
But here lies another subtle trap. The most comfortable cell in the entire prison. The cell of the victim. It is a tempting place to live, especially after you've woken up. It feels righteous to hold on to your wounds. It feels powerful to blame. You build an identity around your pain. I am the one who was wronged. I am the survivor. Your story of suffering becomes a shield. It protects you from having to take full responsibility. It excuses you from taking the risk. I can't succeed because of my past. I can't be happy because of what they did to me. I can't try because the system is rigged against me. Each of these statements feels true. It feels justified. And that is why it is the perfect prison. It is a cage you defend with your own logic. Victimhood is just conformity disguised as rebellion. It is the system's final triumph. It no longer needs to control you externally because you are now policing yourself with your own narrative of limitation. It provides comfort, sympathy, and a permanent excuse for inaction. Notice the next time you say, "I can't because." Is it the system, your past, or someone else you're blaming? That's the golden cage speaking. Write it down. Then ask, what can I choose instead? Just as your thoughts were never fully yours, your victimhood is a story the system taught you to tell. You can rewrite it. Do not dwell upon the mistakes and failures of the past. Instead, concentrate on the things you can do now. Emmet Fox. The system doesn't need to defeat you. It just needs you to stop trying. And the story of your victimhood is the most elegant way to convince you to stop.
To be a victim is to surrender your power, to declare that your past is more powerful than your present choice, to believe that external conditions define your internal state. And here we must face another one of Emmet Fox's liberating but terrifying truths. There is no power in external conditions. All power is within you. The system wins the moment you believe your freedom depends on it changing. It will not change, not for you. You must change. You must choose to withdraw your energy from the story of what was done to you and pour it into the reality of what you will do now. This is the ultimate act of defiance, not fighting the system, but rendering it irrelevant through the sheer force of your own self-creation.
Vincent reprogrammed himself, not because it was easy, but because there was no alternative. He understood, on a cellular level, a law that ancient mystics and modern neuroscientists agree upon. You become what you think about all day long. Your reality is a lagging indicator of your dominant thoughts. Science confirms what Fox knew. Your brain rewires based on what you focus on. Each time you choose a new thought, you build a new neural pathway, a new reality. For years, the system had programmed him with thoughts of limitation, invalid, unworthy, not good enough. And for a time, he believed it. That was his reality. His liberation began when he chose a new thought, and he repeated it with obsessive, unwavering focus. The thought was, I am going to space. He held that thought when he was scrubbing floors. He held that thought as he strapped painful prosthetics to his legs. He held that thought as he meticulously scrubbed away every trace of his true self every single day. He held that thought in the face of doubt, fear, and the constant threat of exposure. Change your thought, and you change your life. This is not a platitude. It is a manual for operating reality. You are not a victim of your programming. You are simply the result of it, and what has been programmed can be reprogrammed. The old thoughts are like well-worn grooves in your mind. Your attention flows down them automatically. To create a new reality, you must deliberately, consciously carve a new groove. It starts with one thought, a thought that declares who you choose to be, in defiance of all evidence to the contrary. I am worthy. I am capable. I am free. At first, it will feel like a lie. Your entire being will scream and protest. Your job is to hold the new thought anyway, to return to it, to starve the old pathways of your attention and feed the new one. Start today. Choose one thought the system gave you. I'm not enough. Write it down. Cross it out. Replace it with, I am enough, exactly as I am. Repeat it 10 times, morning and night for a week. Feel it rewrite your mind. This is the real work, the silent, internal battle that no one else can see or fight for you. You are not just changing your mind, you are changing the energetic frequency of your being. And when your frequency changes, the reality you perceive must change to match it. It is the law.
Perhaps you, too, have lived your life listening to the whispers of the system. You are not smart enough. You don't have the right background. It's too late. It's too risky. It's impossible. What if all that noise wasn't a judgment? What if it was a gift?
What if the pain of your limitation is not a mistake, but the very thing designed to ignite your soul's hunger for the infinite? Tonight, the ocean of your own potential stretches out before you. It is dark, it is deep, it offers no guarantees. You can stand on the shore, calculating the risks, negotiating with your fear, forever saving your energy for a swim back to a safety that was always an illusion. Or you can do what Vincent did. You can choose a star, you can take a breath, and you can swim. Tonight, choose one step, one thought, one act of defiance against the system's lies. Start now. The question is not whether you will reach it. The question is, what are you saving your energy for? You are not your programming. You are the one who chooses again. Download our free guide, Burn the Boats, a guide to defying the system. Link in description. You are the master of your own destiny. Emmet Fox.